Hello again, Glitch Creeper here. I'm back here for another blog with the various kinds of news. One of which I have been out for a couple days due to some various family business and stuff. But at the same time, I do have some further good news and some, I guess you could say, strange news that I've kind of been putting off. Anyhow. I was going to say, one of the things is, if you didn't already know, the Thaumcraft 6 beta is now not just announced for being public, it is public. And it's for 1.10.2, as I may have stated before, although Asnor has been thinking of diversifying to 1.12.2 as well as beyond, and now that there's also another little bit of news that may change some of his plans. Because it turns out 1.13 and 1.14 are merging. The update Aquatic will also have the one they were about to call the technically updated update. Or technically updated, because it was supposed to be mainly technical, but some things are taking Mojang longer than they first thought. So they decided to allow that to just continue at its own pace, while going ahead and putting some aquatic update features into 1.13, if not the whole thing. As I said, they're basically merging them. So the downside is we'll be getting the next major update a bit later, but the good side is it will be better than originally intended, because it will have, in fact, the aquatic stuff, which is very cool. Very, very, very cool. I love what they're doing with the aquatic update. For some odd reason, I just seem to have more of an affinity for those tridents than any other feature. I just like the idea. I mean, you may have seen me in other modded plays using pole arms, so you might already be getting the idea that I just want something to get speared. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Now, other news, and it's just what I see you setting there, son. Thank you. Anyhow. Other news is a bit miscellaneous, but I've been kind of thinking maybe of going... I just had a sudden idea that what I'd like to do is see just how well a lot of Thaumcraft integration is still retained in some mods, because recently I was doing some experimenting with something else that had a few things or dictionaried with Thaumium. It turns out some of the things that had cross-mod content with that, like Project E, technically automatically worked. Which was funny. It was just a funny little thing that happened to me, but it kind of inspired me to think, well, what else at least had Thaumcraft mod integration that's actually around in this version? So I might do like a miniature personal pack and just explore various things that interact with thaumaturgy, like Abyssalcraft and Botania, and a few others, like actually Blood Magic and Evilcraft both had, and there were several others too, all good magic mods. And even, like, a lot of people forget that at one point Tinker's Construct actually used Thaumium as a resource, but because that hasn't been technically in play for a while, it could easily have been forgotten. So I'm thinking of doing like a mini pack that has just various things that used to work with Thaumcraft, including one you may not have seen before, and that's Essentialcraft. And that's assuming that it's actually going to work with everything else, because I have had some issues trying to use it in the past. So it may be one of those things that just doesn't work. But I'll try, because a lot of these things had some interesting integration in the past, and I'm curious to see if I can bring that back. And over time, if there's any add-ons for Thaumcraft 6 that show up, I'll try putting them in, and I'll update things whenever they have their cross-mod content for Thaumcraft re-added. So if they do anything with 1.10.2, because that's again one of those things that's kind of going out, a lot of the actions in 1.12.2, but to break himself past the combat update in terms of Thaumcraft, Asnor decided to start with 1.10.2, and we'll just see what goes on from there for ourselves. So that's just something we'll just have to see how it works. Now, other news, the thing I've been putting off is... Okay, it's story time. I had an interesting bet, because me and a few friends, including Enderman of Doom and Shino, were involved in a kind of a virtual Minecon. It was referred to as Better Than Minecon Moon, just to, say, more than Earth. And the thing is that I kind of made a bet there that I'm a little reluctant to mention. And it's one of those things that I was thinking, well, if I don't get a webcam, I won't ever have to do it publicly, right? And would anybody just take my word for it if I did it or not? Because it's one of those things I'd probably tell a funny story about later, and they're like, oh, you had to do that? Well, yeah. The thing is, you may be aware that there was this big vote on which mob would actually get added into Minecraft, and of all things people picked, it was the most boring one in my opinion. Yeah, the one people are going, oh, it's great they're adding that. No, I don't agree. I'm one of the people that voted for literally everything else. Now, the thing is, I thought the others had cool features, and it's also true that some modder friends of mine, including Intermadoom, might be adding them into Minecraft in their mods. So, that hilarious statement that you made in the news saying, or until modders add them back in, which will probably be the next day. Well, that wasn't entirely accurate because it's not like the next day, but they are going to be adding it back in. Them, actually. But again, the one that won was Mob B, the whole flying in the overworld attacks you whenever you're not sleeping for a while thing. I'm going, meh. I mean, the grabby thing sounded like a cooler kind of attack than just swarming you. The thing that, like, ate stuff and would occasionally be used to burp up an enchantment power you could use to power up your own items was cool. I mean, really cool. That sounded like it could be really useful. And then, of course, we had the other one, which was supposed to be kind of like a blaze-powered mini-boss. It looked pretty cool. Having it as a wave leader would have been an awesome entry, in my opinion, and could have had some cool resources. But no, the one that was added was Mob B, the flying thing that just comes down and bites you in swarms. You're probably wondering, what does the story have to do with something I'm a little reluctant about? What bet did I make? Well, I happen to have actually announced it out loud to my friends, and for that matter may have written it in chat at the Minecon, that if Mob B won, I'd eat a Nacho hat. That may not sound like a big deal to most people, but I gotta admit I have some digestive issues, so I'm wondering if it would even be possible, or if I'd wind up throwing up doing it or something, because it might be too much for me. Which would, of course, definitely be big on the whole public embarrassment thing. And I was thinking, well, do I really have to do it? And, hey, a bet's a bet. Mob B won. I haven't gotten to eating a nacho hat yet. But, and yes, I do mean, like, with nacho cheese and everything. I'm going the whole 9 yards if I do this. I'm going to make it official, like the whole Simpsons nacho hat thing that Homer was pondering. Turns out those don't exist in reality. It's just, it's for overall sale. It is something that you have to make yourself. So I may also be having to make a nacho hat. But still, just the fact that my stomach is not designed to have that much of a couple things at once like that. I mean, that's a lot of cheese. And I have already officially declared that if I did it, it would be a hat size for me. I'm not talking a small little bitty thing like you'd use as a hand puppet hat. I'm talking about like an actual fits-on-your-head nacho hat. And I'd have to eat the whole thing, cheese and all. So, now, as for what kind of nacho cheese, I don't know if I'm going to allow myself to do it, like, spicy or anything, because, oh, well, that would be torture. But, because I never specified that, although I might, but it also depends on whether or not I ever get that webcam I've been hoping for, so, again, the whole petition thing factors in. So if anybody would like to see me eat an entire nacho hat, and for that matter, dare me to eat it spicy, then you'd have to sign the petition. It's not something I want to do, though. This is one of those things where I am very conflicted, because I never really wanted to do a webcam at all, even if I get the whole thing to work out. Otherwise, I still don't want to do that part, but at the same time, bets are bets, and if people really, really want it, then okay, I have to concede to the will of my fans. But just know this is something that will be an event that I'd rather not happen. Now, on the other hand, I do want that kind of camera around in the world, yes. But I'd rather not do this whole thing with eating a spicy nacho hat. Well, especially if it's spicy. I mean, people have mercy on me and say, oh, you can eat the whole nacho hat, we know you got stomach problems, but they're not demanding spicy cheese. That would be very gracious. But I have a feeling a lot of people would be daring me to have spicy cheese. Normally, I'm immune to dares, I don't care, but this is one of those things where I, for some very bizarre reason, feel obligated to go through with it if it comes up. I don't even know why. I mean, I could have just said no webcam ever. That could have been my answer. That could have been my answer. No webcam ever. But no, I'm actually going along with this. I have no idea why I'm even bothering. I'm not that kind of person that's super public about that. I'm not one of those people that really wants to be like known on site very much. It's one of those, because in this world you have way too much observation on you, and it would be nice to be very ambiguous and not unambiguously identifiable. So it's one of those things I just don't like the idea of. But since people have brought it up, maybe, and right now we're at the stage of maybe, because I know there is a petition that can work things out for the one that I've deemed as the only thing worthy, but at the same time, I don't know if that's ever going to get far enough to actually get attention or not. So, may or may not happen. So, either way, I'm good. Either I get a good camera to go into the world and solve a lot of problems, or but then on the other hand, I'm forced to eat a nacho hat, or I don't have that happen, and I'm not forced to eat a nacho hat, and I can keep just using whatever avatar in Minecraft I'd like as my face when it comes to being on camera. Which is actually kind of a nice thing to do, actually, is to go, hey, is this all the me you need to know? Probably. So it's just one of those things where I'm not sure which way to go, but I'm actually going to allow things to be whatever way they turn out. So, yeah. But again, the mini pack idea is something that I've been thinking about for just the last few days since Thaumcraft actually came out again. So that might be something, and I'm wondering if somebody would like to see just what kind of stuff you could work with Thaumcraft in 1.10.2 as of, like, soon. Or now, for that matter. It wouldn't take me long to put together, because I'm thinking of doing it as a mini pack rather than like a big pack. So it should run a lot more smoothly than some of the other packs I've done. So, well, there's been a few that ran pretty nice together, even though they were pretty big, so it could happen. But I don't think there's going to be that many things that I'm really going to have to shove together to get it to work out fine. But we'll see. But I do think that's an idea. A Thaumic Resurgence pack would be pretty cool. And that's something that I have been thinking would be a cool, quick idea. Now, with that, I think I have said everything that I need to for right now, including the whole, yes, there's a merging of the versions, and we'll be having some features faster than thought. Mini pack, let me see, eating a nacho hat. Family business was just a note that people kind of gotten used to, is, yeah, that happens. But anyhow, I guess that's everything I need to say. So, in that case, I'll be doing my usual logging off here. So this has been Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all later. Bye for now, everybody, and time to join the parrot party. So, yes, join the parrot party. They're so hypnotic. They're so cool looking and pretty, and they know how to dance well. Yes, join the parrot party. You want to do it. Tail feathers tickling your nose. Okay, well, anyhow, bye for now, everybody.